Welcome everybody to tonight's broadcast of the SRN Truck Series Wednesday night. This is week 7. We are in Kansas. You see a few trucks here are getting some practice in before they go to qualify. Let's take a look at our race conditions before we get started tonight. So you can see air temperature at 74 degrees. 25% humidity, partly cloudy, no wind to speak of, but that track temperature, if you take a look right in the middle there at the bottom, 106 degrees. Now that's going to cause some issues with the heat on the track. There are going to be some slick tires and some sliding around out there, so that'll be interesting to watch tonight for sure. I'll put your ticker up here, and these guys are just about to finish up on this practice run here, and we'll get some qualifying underway. While we're waiting on that, why don't we take a look here at our standings for the year, or yeah, let's take a look here and see if we can see that. And there we go. So you're looking at Bobby Hall Jr. in first, Alex Healy in second. Those are two Flex Motorsports trucks there. Christopher Barker in third, Chris Phillips in fourth. Those are two of the Foothills Motorsports. And then you got Wes Wigan in fifth, Bobby Grady in sixth. Seventh is Dan Worthington. Gordon Spain is in eighth. John Schuenbachler is in ninth. Matt Grenier in 10th. Rick Baldwin in 10th. And Jeff Ledford also in 10th. You can see we got a three-way tie there for 10th place. So all of those trucks are tied at this point. So we will see how that progresses throughout the season. But now that we're in week 7, we're starting to see, I should say, a little bit of a trend here, and we're starting to see how this season is shaping up. And those are your top guys right now. Not that anything can't change, but looking pretty good for Bobby Hall and Alex Healy, Chris Barker up there in the top 3 podium right now. We'll get that out of your way, and we got some cars qualifying now, it looks like. Let's go. Let's look at Dan Worthington on track here. Get on his car. There he is, that Flex Motorsports truck. Let's see what he can do here. Here he goes. I believe this will be his first lap now. About half the vehicles on track right now, not all of them. We can put up the track map here, I think. Let's see if I can get that up. There we go. And you can't see them all because we are doing it. They are spread out, about half of them. So he's going to cross for his first lap, and that does put him on pole. And all the way back to fourth. So Daniel Cunningham has the lead right now. Oh, Ronnie Shirk just took it for him. There he goes. He's got a 31:05 as the qualifying time to beat now. And he comes back around again. Now, Daniel Cunningham just had his second lap. He takes it with a 31:02, so 0.03. And there goes Chris Phillips. He just took it for a 31:01. It gets it by a 10th. And we have a bunch of trucks now coming back out. Let's take a look here at some of these. There's the 62 of Louis Flowers. And Robert Charette there in the 64 is about to take a lap. Chris Phillips still holding strong with that 31:01. Okay, we'll see as he comes around here. Looks like our trap map is a little bit behind, so I'm going to take that off. We don't need to. Looks like it's not coming off. I've been having problems with this SDK timing, so I will fiddle with it a little bit here and try to get this fixed for you guys so it's up to date. But it definitely looks like it's a little bit behind Let me go ahead and bring it off, and we'll try to get that fixed. But it does look like Chris Phillips is still sitting up front there. Nobody's got anything for him at this time. Now that looks better there. We'll see how long that lasts. So there's your ticker as well. Might have a few problems with it freezing. It's been doing that. I apologize for that if we have that issue through the race, but I will do my best to reset it and get it going again and again. Okay, so it looks like all of our vehicles have taken time, or the ones that are going to. There's about 5 or 6 at the back that have not. I still see a few on track. In fact, there's 3 of them that still need a time in, so we'll see what they do, and then we'll go through our grid. They should have another moment or two here. And they're coming to the line now. I'm trying to see who that is. My apologies. Trying to figure out who that is on track right now. So that's 38 there. He's in P12. Looks like we got one there of Scott Millard. He's already done at a 31.62. And everybody's pretty much done it. So let's get our grid up here so we can see who we're dealing with at the front of the field. And of course it's not gonna come up. There we go. Okay, so Chris Phillips, get your pole. Michael Brooks in second. Daniel Cunningham in third. Fourth is going to be Chris Barker, followed by Ronnie Shirk and Bobby Hall there in sixth. Jeff Ledford gets seventh. Isaac Singleton in eighth. Dan Worthington is in ninth. Matt Grenier in 10th. 11 is Mike Allen, and 12 is Gordon Spain. Let's scroll that down. See, 13th is Alex Healy, Bobby Grady, and 14th behind him is going to be Wes Wigan, Robert Charette, Louis Flowers, and Rick Baldwin in 18th. 19th is John Schuenbachler with Anthony Owens in 20th. Stephen Shue is in 21st. John Van Blercom is in 22nd. Gary Steele in 23rd. And rounding out your field is Eric Cordor. And these guys at the end did not qualify. They're just going to kind of hang back and see how it goes. So we will see how that works for them. And I think we're only going to have one lap here of pacing. So let's see when that gets started here. Race control is giving his pre-race instructions to the drivers right now before they take off. Still got a few of them here to join the track, that's for sure. All right, so it should be rolling off here any second. Can put that ticker up. So we have 125 laps tonight. I think they can do about 50 laps, so we're going to see at least 2 pit stops tonight. Strategy can play a little if we go green. You could short pit. You can go the full distance. We will see what they do. I got to believe that with the tires and the heat, they're going to want to pit a little bit shorter than a full fuel run, but some of them will try that and some of them will not. So we're going to have probably some interesting different strategies, if you will, that will play out here, and we'll cover those as we go. Looking forward to seeing how Chris Phillips does up front. Now, if you've seen any of the other races, you know that at Dover and Iowa, he won both of those, and those are the shorter tracks, under a mile each. He's been very strong on these other ones, but hasn't got a win yet, but he's got the pole tonight, so we will see how he does. I'm looking for him to be very strong, and then you got our points leader, Bobby Hall. He is going to be starting in the 6th position tonight, so also pretty far up front, so I would anticipate these guys having a little bit of a battle here, but we are about to go green, and here we go. And Chris Phillips gets a good jump. He is out front by himself, so he can take whatever lane he wants going into the corner. One thing you're going to find about this track as well is that it is a multi-lane track, but you definitely do want to be on that high side. I do believe that that is going to prevail tonight, and we will see. I'm going to kind of jump back just a little bit here, go up top, because we do have some 3 wide developing right back there. There it is. Ooh, a little tight there. Michael Allen in that 29. You saw him kind of get close there. The 94, Bobby Hall. He is trying to get it. Ooh, and he hits the wall a little bit. That's not going to help. Up front, you see Chris Phillips got a good lead. 1 car in tow. Michael Allen is looking at the bottom of that 92, and that is Michael Brooks. He's going to see if he can make it. As you see, Chris Barker in the 46, he's going below the 91, going to make that pass as well. A little bit of action here. They got fresh tires. They got the grip. They want to make it work, and they're trying their best right now. See, we got somebody in chat rooting on Flex and Bobby Hall. Well, he's doing just fine, but he did kind of hit the wall a little bit, lost a couple spots. But we'll take a look at him real quick. No harm, no foul. He's now trying to make a pass on Michael Brooks, so I think his truck is just fine. He is going to ride this bottom here and see if he can make that. See if he goes 3 wide here. No, not going to do that just yet. Here we go, side by side into turn 1. See how that upper lane just kind of holds a little bit more speed in it. Now, I don't know if that's going to be better or not for the tires. And I thought Bobby Hall was going to try to stick it in there, but he thought better of it. He thought Allen in the back there might give him a little bit of bump and didn't want that at this point in the race, and I don't blame him. Let's take a look here on the nose of the 92 so we can see exactly how this racing is developing here. Just to give you an update up front, there is a lead for Chris Phillips. It is a little bit single file, so we'll watch this for just a second here. You can see all the way out to the front there. They are single file up front, and the 94 is trying, but that outer line is going to prevail here. I think we're going to see that all night. And you now see that he has got the 97. That is Alex Healy there with a new paint scheme tonight, so I'm going to have to get used to that. But he is trying on the inside of his teammate Bobby Hall. So Bobby Hall has now found his way to the outside, which I think is where he's going to want to be. Let's check back in out front. Like I said, some single file. We got Chris Phillips leading. Daniel Cunningham is in second. Jeff Ledford is actually in 3rd place now, so he's up 4 spots from where he started. Great run here in the beginning. Michael Brooks has kind of fallen back here at the beginning. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with that 92 truck or if he's just kind of taking it easy. He knows that the tires are going to wear, so maybe he's just trying to, take it easy and have some tires later in the run. We do see in this league a lot of longer green flag runs, so that is a pretty good strategy. If you were in a league that has a little bit more cautions, I would say maybe you need to be a little bit more heat racing, but that is not the case here. A bunch of clean drivers in this series, so you will find that these guys are going to be playing the long game here on a lot of these. As you see Bobby Hall again looking on the inside of Michael Allen. Tough to make those passes. You can see him go higher now and see if he can get a little bit more of a run. But I got to believe that these trucks off of the turns are going to be protecting that high side. And see, there goes Bobby Hall again. He's got to go to the inside because the top is protected. He's got a good run there. He could slide right now. He could give him the slide job. And he's got him clear. There he goes. Now he's going to sit in front of him. And the crossover, of course, he's going to go below the line, which is totally legal in this league. And I don't think he's going to be able to make that stick. I think Bobby Hall is going to have the preferred line on the outside here when that momentum comes through. But, man, Michael Allen sent it in there. But he just can't prevail there. See if he gets a run off this time. You can see he's definitely got a run there. If we go up top, you can really start to see the runs. And you can see Michael Allen just didn't get a run off of turn 3 there. Or, sorry, turn 4. And lost a bunch of time. And now he's the 97 of Alex Healy is gonna work on him for a second here. Got a little bit bigger of a gap up front there, but not a lot. Daniel Cunningham is definitely hanging with him. Jeff Ledford as well. He's in screen there. Christopher Barker is... I'm sorry, that's Christopher Barker. Ledford is behind him. My bad. Barker has moved up to 3rd and Ledford back to 4th. So, my fault. 2 team trucks there that I got confused there. So, my fault. It looks like Chris Phillips is now opening up. He's got almost half a second lead. So, he is starting to put a little bit of a gap there, a little breathing room for himself. So, a little bit closer racing back here. Let's take a look at this. You got Matt Granier on the inside of Michael Allen now, who has been kind of dropping a few spots. I will say that Mike Allen is up 2 spots from where he started, but he had a bunch of spots and then just kind of fell back a little bit. Must have been kind of a momentum thing. The truck is fine. And you see at 38 of that is Gordon Spain. He is looking on the inside as well. And look, you see Granier there with a great run off the corner on the inside. And if he can dive this in, he can slide up, but he just didn't get the dive on there. He kept it a little bit higher, so trying to keep momentum rather than diving in on him. And I'm going to take a look back up front because the lead is heating up. He has caught Chris Phillips. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a little wall scrape or something, but that momentum on the outside is going to prevail again. I hate to speculate, but he had a half a second lead, and I just looked a second ago, so not really sure what happened there, but he is back to a, let's call it 3/10 lead, so no harm, no foul. Let's take a look back again at some of this other racing here as you see Dan Worthington inside of Jeff Ledford. Jeff Ledford moved up quick in the beginning laps. I don't know if he used up his tires a little bit, but losing a couple spots here, no big deal. He's still in 6th position, up 1 spot from where he started, and that's loose right there. Wow. Great save by Alex Healy as well. That could have been something right there, but it wasn't. As he floats up, I think the tires are just going away from Ledford there. I have to imagine that's kind of thing. You see behind them, they're too wide back there as well. So we got a lot of racing here mid-pack in this, let's call it 9th to 12th position. And Ledford is just wagging the dog out there. That poor truck is feeling the heat from this track. Let's kind of jump back here just a little bit to see these guys as well. We can go up on the blimp here and get a little bit better view, I think. They've kind of sorted it out at this point. Ledford's still kind of dropping back a little bit. Michael Allen's still kind of dropping back. You can see him right there. He's got the outside on Gordon Spain, so he's probably going to keep this for now. You see, wow, you see Gordon Spain with a great run there. I just have to believe these drivers such as Ledford and Allen to kind of really raced really hard for those first 6 or 7 laps, and now they kind of got some heat in their tires. But if they calm down and just race, ooh, as he scrapes the wall right there, Michael, oh no, and then he comes down, the 92 just doesn't really have anywhere to go. Didn't realize that was going to happen, and that's going to bring out our first caution. We saw it live, but we will go back and take a look there. Give me just 1 second. So let's take a look at that. I think we need to go back a little bit further than that. So let's kind of hit the rewind button here. There you go. And then let's play it from there. And that, that doesn't really have anything to do with the, let's back it up again and take a look, and we'll go to the blimp. I don't think that has a whole lot to do with Michael Allen hitting the wall there. See, he hit it. 92 kind of thought, okay, I'm going low, but did not even check to see. And the 7-car truck, was there. Isaac Singleton. The 92 obviously gets the worst of it, and the 33 there as well. That 33, that is John Schuenbachler. So really unfortunate for him. Just a victim of circumstance there. So Chris Phillips still up front. Now, this is going to be interesting. This is a little bit early to pit, so we'll see. I mean, they have 4 sets of tires. They could certainly take tires right now. Don't really need fuel. And then, so the top 3 are staying out, and then you're going to see a few guys kind of peel off. Let's go back further in the field here. And, yeah, we're going to have a bunch of guys back here say, okay, I'm not in the lead. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And all these trucks are coming in now. So we'll go to the pit lane here and watch as these guys kind of come off of the lane. We'll see as they go by here. You got Chris Phillips, Chris Barker. You got the 08 of Daniel Cunningham, Alex Healy, Matt Grenier. A lot of these guys have stayed out, and so it'll be very interesting to see the time difference. I think there's going to be a significant fall off. These guys just probably didn't know that the others were coming in, and this may hurt them a little bit in the short term. Sorry, just listening to Race Control make the call here. So basically, he saw what we saw. The 29 car hit the wall and kind of came down. 92 tried to come down. 7 wasn't coming down as much. And so deemed a racing incident. No one will get an EOL here. Not really anybody's fault. I completely agree with that. And we will go back up to the front here with Chris Phillips. And we got one lap car. It looks like the 77. That's correct. 77 is going to get the wave around here. That's Michael Cole. Not going around, though. What's going on? All right, never mind. He's not going to get the wave around. Not sure what happened there, but looked like he was getting the wave around, so. Thank you guys for your comments on chat there on YouTube and whatnot. Appreciate it. Okay, so they are locked up. We are 1 to go. I think we have, let's call it 8 vehicles out front that are on older tires. 18 green flag laps that time. So good little run there. These tires up front that are the top 8 or so are, I just can't imagine that they're not going to be slower. You definitely got to look at whether or not they're going to spin tires on the restart. We're going to go to the blimp view here so that we can kind of watch that. It's very easy on a hot track like this to spin tires, so we'll keep an eye on these top 4 lanes. And I'm looking for behind that who just got fresh tires like Steven Shue, Dan Worthington. These guys, I think they're going to definitely prevail. You got Rick Baldwin in the 19 on the outside there as well. Those guys all got fresh tires. And you see him just kind of fan out. I think the 7 car there he definitely spun his tires. 77 going back. You can definitely see a difference there. But Chris Phillips has got a good 2 truck length lead. The 08 of Daniel Cunningham, he is going to look to the outside of Chris Barker there for second, and definitely going to have the preferred line. Alex Healy in the 97 behind gets a good run, but he's up against that wall. Don't want to actually touch it, but he kind of did there, but small scrape, just scrubbed a little paint and a little speed off of it, and that's going to give Chris Phillips a long run out front, and that's exactly what he needs with those older tires. And he's got about 4 or 5 trucks behind him with also older tires that are going to kind of not, I don't want to say block, but the trucks are going to have to get around them before they even get to him. So depending on how this run turns out, you're definitely going to see him up front here for a little bit. And you can see a lot of 2x2 back and 3 wide back there in the back. I think that's Steven Shue, I want to say, It's 3 wide right now. There you go. That is a hornet's nest with Rick Baldwin on the bottom, Steven Shue in the middle, and that's the 101 of, I believe that's Dakota Shepard. Let me make sure. Yes, that is Dakota Shepard. Ooh, and he hits the wall in the 7. Isaac Singleton there hits the wall. Looks like he's still going, but he is falling back. And then you see Bobby Hall in the 94 trying to make his way back through the field. He is in 22nd right now. Chris Phillips out front has a half-second lead. So we're going to stay with kind of some more of the action here. Let's go up to Ledford here, where he just got passed by the 15 of Grenier. Ledford, I do not believe, has new tires. I believe the 15 does. It's hard to keep track of all of that, so I apologize. I'm keeping up the best I can with which ones did and didn't. And you can see now that it looks like Bobby Grady is on the move, and so is Gordon Spain. These guys are up 10 positions from where they started. And look at how much faster he is on the bottom. And that is just fresh tires right there. There's no other way to put that. It's just fresh tires. And look who's up front. Number 11, Elijah Fisher in that FedEx Denny Hamlin-esque vehicle there. And he is in his first race with this series. He used to do some race control work with us and decided he wanted to be a driver. We are happy to have him, and look at him running P3 there, and I think he's looking for more. He's got the preferred line on Bobby Grady in the 2 there. Meanwhile, Gordon Spain getting some laps out front, and I'm sure he's happy about that. Chris Phillips hanging strong in 5th. He's got Dan Worthington trying to pass him right now. This 11 car is looking really strong. I just hope he doesn't chew him up too fast like we saw a few drivers do there early. And he's going to go off the track down below. He gets to the inside. Let's see if he can make this stick on the bottom and corner off. Looking pretty strong. Side by side as they come out of the corner. No real advantage to either one. Who's going to dive this corner harder? That's the question. Neck and neck. It looks like the 11's got a little advantage, but he can't shut the door on him. He's going to have to go low to try to get some momentum there. Yeah, Elijah's got to try to get to the top side, but if he can make the pass and slide him, he's so close to clear, but he just can't do it off the corner. He might be able to do it diving in here if he can do it, but you can see that momentum by Gordon Spain. And then into the corner, Elijah's faster. Slide job right now, buddy. There he goes. Got him. All right, now he just needs to settle in, stay to that high side. Let them tires cool a little bit. Great work by Elijah Fisher. Elijah runs a Gen 6 Cup car series on Monday nights that is a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Somebody can probably put in chat what they are broadcasted on. I can't do that right now myself, but that's a fun league as well. I think on Monday night there was about 37 trucks or cars, I should say, in that series. It was a great turnout for week 1 of their series. So I think we have kind of some single file stuff going on here. We'll kind of take a look a little bit further back. There's a 62 of Louis Flowers, 84 Anthony Owens, and then right there we got Rick Baldwin still trying to move up the field, but Steven Shue is on his outside, and he's trying to look inside here to see if he can get Dan Worthington in that 113. Looking at his nose, but just can't make it stick there. And let's take a look off the nose of Steven Shue. Oh, that's close. That's a run right there. That's as close as it gets. That was a good one right there. So he kind of pushed him into the corner a little bit, gave him a little bit of momentum, but I think Dan Worthington's still going to have that momentum off. Even if you're on the inside, you know, I feel like the move is to try to stay to the middle lane. Oh, look at how close that got. I thought for sure they were going to touch. And you see there's a truck out there. Let me see if I can figure out who that is. He's in the 32nd. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. 30th position. Let me take a look here. That's Michael Cole. I believe he was coming out of the pits. May still have damage. Yeah, that doesn't look so hot, does it? He's got issues there. Not sure exactly what's going on. Let's go back out front. Actually, let's return to Steven Shue and them. Oh, they did get it sorted out a little bit there. Now, Mike Allen trying to get a little bit of comeback here. He's still plus 2 spots from where he started, but shot to the front early. Steven Shue sitting here in the 00. He's up 13 spots from where he started, so that's amazing. Just to give you an update and what tires can do, Chris Phillips is now in the 13th, almost going to be passed for the 14th position here. So the tires are a premium, but I will say this, those trucks that stayed out, they are going to have an extra set at the end if needed. And it doesn't matter if it's only 5 or 6 laps. It's important. We got a wreck here. That's the 19 of Rick Baldwin I saw. Let me go ahead and go back there and we'll take a look at it, as it does look like we are staying green. That's a little early to see how that developed, but it's Dan Worthington and Rick Baldwin, and it just looks like Worthington came up the track just a little bit too much and pinched Baldwin there. So unfortunately, he is the recipient of the wreck there. Not his fault, but he definitely got the worst of it. Dan Worthington obviously didn't get away unscathed, but that is tough break for Rick Baldwin, who is having a great run so far. Let's go back up front. You see Elijah Fisher's, I'm going to say 5-6 truck lengths easy ahead. He's got a half a second lead, looking very strong there. But these other guys, Gordon Spain and Bobby Grady, are not going away by any means. So depending on how the tires wear throughout this run, it could be a race yet. Let's go back here. We're on board with the 84 Anthony Owens, also in his first race with SRN Truck Series. He is looking on the inside there of the 62, who's Louis Flowers. Nobody's really got an advantage there, and you see Shue in the background there. He would love for these guys to stay side by side so he could get caught up. Okay, so starting to hear over the radio, the vehicles that did not pit are now starting to pit. So you got Chris Phillips and a couple others go. Oh, and Chris missed. He missed it. That is going to cost him. That is very unfortunate. Not that he can't recover. He's a good, fast driver, so I'm sure that he will recover from that, but that is a mistake that's not going to help the cause. And up front, you got these top three, and then you got a big gap of almost 2 seconds back to Louis Flowers. Let's go right here as these two continue to battle. Steven Shue, so a couple of the Foothills trucks stayed out. Steven Shue, also a Foothills truck, I believe he did pit. That's why he is staying on the track. So within that Foothills teams, we have two strategies because they were split in the field, so they made different decisions. The two up front of Foothills of 46 of Chris Barker and the 6 of Chris Phillips were first and third and stayed out and didn't realize everyone else was going to pit, so they got off sequence, but they can get back if we get a caution here. There's Ledford coming off of the pit, so he is going to be a lap down at this time. With the speed of the new tires, I'm sure he's going to unlap himself, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. He just needs it to stay green for a little while here. You can see the gap there. He's the 4th car in line behind the 11, so I believe that he will be more than capable of getting that back within 5 or 6 laps here. Trying to look through here, I don't really see any major battles going on. I can see that we have the 55 of Mike Babinchak battling the 64 of Robert Charette here. And you can see the 8 of Gary Steele coming into the picture. Go onto the nose there. You see that high voltage that is Mike Babinchak there, also known as Mascot Mike. And I thought he was closing at a little bit faster rate, fresher tires or something like that, but he's just kind of settled in there. There he goes. Now he's got a good run, switch over, and that was a big pass right there. Still kind of on the outside there because of the run on the outside, but I think he's got him clear here. Let's see if he moves up or stays. Going to move up just enough to let him know, hey, don't try it. So, and we can pull up the track map here, and you can see there are cars all over this track. They are spread out everywhere, and that's what good green flag runs do. We've had about 22 laps of green flag, and people are everywhere. Some people are pitting, so we'll keep up with all the action as best we can. But up front right now, I will tell you, let's go to the blimp view. You can see that is a big lead there. That is almost 9/10 of a second. Elijah Fisher putting on a clinic right now. I think let's take a look here. Let's go back to some of these cars that are lapped down. And let's go with Ledford here. We can see he's a little bit off. He is not catching the leader like I thought, but he is coming up on him now. I think he's going to need a few more laps than I thought, but I think he's still going to get there if we go back and take a look at Elijah. Okay, he did just unlap himself. There you go. So he's good to go, I believe. It's the best I can tell. So, but Elijah is all by himself, got a 1 second lead now. You can see the difference there. And third is Bobby Grady. That's Gordon Spade in second. Bobby Grady is third right there in picture also. So these three trucks are similar in pace. And then you have a 2.5 second drop back to Anthony Owens, and Louis Flowers there, and Stephen Shue there in sixth. And this is where the tires, the wear, the heat, this is all going to come into play a lot. If you did not save your tires early in this run, you still have another 20 laps to go. And if the tires are already shot, they're only going to get worse. It's only going to slide more. And so with these longer green flag runs, that saving of tires is very, very important. As we see on our screen here, we got Dan Worthington on our right side with Michael Allen, and they kind of got really close to each other. Don't think they had contact, but Dan Worthington trying to get by as quickly as possible here. Got a little bit of a thing here with Steele and Charette again. Steele's still trying to make that pass. Looks like he's going to get it done right there. It seems like on these sort of runs and these sort of tracks, you know, if somebody catches you, it's best to just let them go, because you're racing the track more than anything. They could be burning up their tires, and you might pass them back in 10 laps. So there's really no reason to fight like that. As you see the 08 just go around the outside and make it look easy. He must have pitted recently. Yeah, it does look like he did. So he's probably got fresher tires than these guys and just going on around. Now we're seeing Fisher here put some cars a lap down. That's a 77. I believe he's multiple at this point. You see that 26 with fresh tires, but that is not for the lead. So wise decision by Elijah there to just let him go. Hold the top and let him go. You're not racing that guy. We're starting to see back here 10th place-ish with Gary Steele. Another battle he's starting here. Let's get on this and see. So that is the 53 truck. That would be Michael White that he is battling there, and I think he's going to get to the outside, trying to block a little bit. So can't make past there, and you see the 46. Now he pitted, I want to say 10 laps ago or so, so he's probably going to go around easily on the outside. There's a lot of different things happening on the track here. This is not for position pass. 46 is trying to get a lap back, so Bobby Grady in the third position has fallen off at this point. He is multiple seconds behind these other guys here. There you can see it there. So he's got probably three to 4 seconds behind the leader, and I guess 1.5 to 2 seconds behind second place. So they're starting to fan out front. And you can see towards the back of the field too, there's quite a bit of bottle up there. Let's take a look at that for a second. Just some trucks trying to get through. You see Rick Baldwin there that got kind of caught up in that previous accident and had to pit, and so now he's trying to get on the comeback trail, but it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for him. He is currently in the 17th position. That's Rick Baldwin is there. I see the 7 there is fighting pretty good. There's Ledford. He also had to pit, so he is right there with Rick Baldwin. It looks like he is a little bit faster at this time, so he's going to try to get that outside and keep it. Get past Rick. Ledford is shown in the 29th position, so he also had to pit, is trying to get unlapped. So we have some teammates here of the 8 and the 64. These guys are in 10th and 11th, and they are pitting now. So this must have been their time. They got, I want to say, 32 to 33 laps, and they are going to go ahead and pit. Not sure. I don't think that's quite a full fuel run, but it may be as much as they want to put on the tires. This might be a strategy thing to split the last 75 laps here into 2 sections. So we'll see how that plays out. Actually, it's 70 laps, so if they go 35 and 35, and they just did 35, so I see what they're doing there. Meanwhile, the 11 is on pit road as well now. And this is going to cycle the 38 to the lead. He's got about a 9-second lead, but I got to imagine that he is going to be pitting soon. Second place right now is Steven Shu. He's going to have to pit sooner rather than later. And then Michael White there is in the 3rd position for the time being. Here comes the 38 of Gordon Spain. And we got the 00 Steven Shu pitting. I think all of these guys, yep, 53, all these guys that didn't pit there that were in the top 5 are now pitting. And this should cycle back around, and we'll see if that puts Elijah Fisher back in the lead. Right now we have Michael Brooks in the lead, the 9-2 truck you see there. 51 is not for position behind him. And it looks like he's getting to that bottom side, getting ready to pit, but we will see. And yes, he dips off the track, so he is going to pit as well. This is going to hand the lead to Daniel Cunningham. And we'll see if he has to pit now as well. So as we cycle back around here, he is not going to pit at this time. So as we cycle back around here, we'll see that Chris Barker is now in 2nd place. He did not pit under that first caution, so now this has cycled him back up front. So I know this Daniel Cunningham, Chris Barker, Matt Grenier in third, Gordon Spain is in fourth. Now this is a car that was just in the lead a second ago, so he comes out of the pit and he's still up in the top 5. So that's good cycle for him. I am not sure what happened, but we have Elijah Fisher here. Looks like he's a lap off, and he is in 26th right now. So got those fresher tires. You can see him go around Chris Phillips right there, but not sure what caused him to drop off so much. Maybe slid his box or something cost a little bit of time. Didn't really see that, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Right now we only have the top 8 on the lead lap. These are the guys that stayed out, and so they have a little bit more fuel now. So Daniel Cunningham is going to get him some laps led. The car behind him is not for position, so that is not a race for position. The next car back is Christopher Barker, and you see him in the second position there. He is about 4 seconds off of the lead. We're working lap 60 here, quickly approaching our halfway. And if this goes green, then these top 8 will have to pit again here probably pretty shortly. Maybe 10-15 laps or so. And not really too much close racing here. We got Chris Phillips and Daniel Worthington fighting over 9th right here. That's about the only battle that we have for position on track. So Chris Phillips kind of fell back to about 14th, 15th because he didn't pit. Then he did pit. Now he's cycled back around and he's in the top 10. So that's good recovery for him. We'll see kind of if we get another caution or how this is all going to play out at the end. I got to imagine these guys that pitted, that did pit on the first cycle, that just pit again and can do 2 35-lap segments, will still have a set of tires in the pits in the end in the event we have a late caution. So I think everybody's going to have a late set of tires if they should need it. And now we see Chris Phillips kind of off pace there, so unfortunately falling back a little bit. We still have Daniel Cunningham out front here with a 4-second lead on Gordon Spain. Trying to look and see if there's any battles here we can show. Chris Phillips is in the clutches of Mike Allen now. And you can see that 6 is just a little bit loose, and I just, he's one of the guys that had to pit early because he didn't pit on the first stop. So I'm thinking that his tires are starting to go away while everyone's else are, 15, 20 laps fresher. So they're just kind of going around him now. He has fallen back to 13th again. We'll follow up on your points leader. That's Bobby Hall in the 94 there. He is in 7th position at this time. Let's just stay with him for a second and see if he is gaining or falling back. It does look like the double zero is catching him a little bit here. Yeah, look at that dive into the corner. So 94 kind of on that off sequence too a little bit, it seems. Getting past there. The 33 is also for position. So this is going to push Bobby Hall back to the 8th position at this time. Okay, just heard on the radio, Daniel Cunningham in the 08, he is going to pit from the lead. Let's see who that brings in, if anybody else is on that same time frame. So he's going to come in, he's going to hand that lead right there to Gordon Spain. This will put Bobby Grady back into 2nd, Matt Grenier into 3rd, and Daniel Worthington 4th, and Stephen Shue will then be scored in 5th. And there's just some big gaps here you can see as the ticker goes through when it comes around to the front. There's just 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds from 1st to 2nd to 3rd to 4th. So large gap here. We do have a race right here. Steven Shue still trying to get around Daniel Worthington, and the 33 of John Schuenbachler is right there. If they get side by side, that's going to bring him into the fold as well. Schuenbachler trying the bottom. We'll see if that works for him. It does look like he's catching right there. Not sure that's going to work off. And then we got a car coming out of the pits. You can see Steven Shue is all over the back bumper of the 113. And the 113 scrapes the wall just a little bit. Looks like they both got kind of out of sorts there. And that is drawing the 33 in. Now, I would assume that this 08, though he is a lap down, he is going to go right by them, and he does. He is going to just start pacing them at this point. And that 33 is strong through the center on the bottom, but just can't pull the momentum off. And I got to believe that 33 is using his tires a little bit more, trying to hold that bottom. Here we go. Dan Worthington is going to the inside of the 15. That is for position. And he's got that. Steven Shue is through. Just having to make that pass, though, and keeping Shue on the bottom there may make a little bit of gap, but he does close it back up pretty decently. So we'll see if that does become something again. Gordon Spain out front with a 4-second lead, it appears, over Bobby Grady in second, who's got a 6-second lead over Dan Worthington, which is in our screen right now. So nothing going on in the front two. This is the battle for third, fourth, and fifth. Looks like Dan Worthington is stretching it out just a little bit, maybe an extra car length that he had before. And if you guys don't know, Steven Shue, they call him the Iceman. Every time we have driver's meeting, he is on his phone on his way home from work, jumps in the truck at the time of start of practice, has 20 minutes to learn the track, doesn't do any other practice, and comes out here and looks strong every week. So good driver there, very adaptable, doesn't need a whole lot of practice. Steven Shue it's an interesting position he's in. He's trying to pass Dan Worthington, but he's got to keep an eye on that mirror because the 33 is not giving him any slack either. Well, let's go back to about 10th place here. We have a little bit of a battle, I want to say, with Gary Steele there in the 8, and it's like Robert Charette. I'm sorry, Wes Wigan in the 88 behind him. So the 8 and 88 are going at it here as well. Although they both have chrome numbers and the same font, they are not teammates. The 88 is with Flex, and the 8 you can see there is with the 6B Designs. The 53 of Michael White is now looking inside the 88, so he... Ooh, that was close. I thought that was going to be a problem. He just kind of slid up just a little bit, but caught it, and that cost him a bunch of time, so he's not going to be able to do much there. As we look back where we are at the battle, there's still single file, so nothing really happening there either. Dan Worthington goes real low, trying to get a little momentum there, but I don't think that's going to be good, and he's going to get stuck on the bottom here. Steven Shue's got an opportunity if he can keep the momentum. 113 got through there very easy, and that lets the 7 in. The 7 is, let's check the scoring pylon here. The 7 is not for position, so Steven Shue is going to just try to follow him through. 113 all the way against that wall. It's fast, but it's dangerous. You can clip that wall very easily, but it is the fastest lineup there. Steven Shue almost had it done right there, but now he's on the inside here, and we'll see if he can do anything with that. Closing up right there, but then off the corner, just not much he can do. He's got to tuck into line here. As you now see Chris Barker coming up through, but he is also not for position. He is the first vehicle a lap down in 20th position, so he's probably got fresher tires and Going to try to get through here. That 33 is still working the bottom. He likes it down there, but it's not the fastest, I don't think. '26 is another truck there, not for position. Go back up front, take a look at Gordon Spain. He's got that 08 that is a lap down. So he just put him a lap down. He would love to get that back. There he goes around the outside. He's going to fight to stay on that lead lap because if that caution comes out, he needs to either be in front of him or the first truck a lap down. And he has got a 6-second lead right now over Bobby Grady. The field is still, we'll take a look at the track what did I just say? Track map? Jeez. We'll take a look at that. You can see that they are still pretty fanned out around the track. And that you see as the ticker goes by, Elijah Fisher unfortunately still stuck just a lap down. Looks like he is the first one a lap down as Daniel Cunningham has passed the leader in Gordon Spain. So he's going to, if we get a caution, that's going to mean Elijah Fisher's going to get that wave around. And we got a few people peeling off the pit now. I'm trying to look here. Alex Healy just passed the leader, but it looks like he's in 30th, so he's multiple laps down. That's not going to put him on the lead lap. This is something that happens in these long green flag runs, and you see that there's only 16, 15 cars now that are on the lead lap. So half of our field is not on the lead lap anymore of our 32 trucks for tonight's race. It seems every week we have 1 to 2 more trucks. And you can see other cars going by. I got to believe that this 38 at Gordon Spain here is leading. He's going to have to pit here pretty soon. You can see his tires are just falling off, and he's riding it probably until he gets to, I would say, 35 to go. So if he could make it, he's probably going to want to make it 8 to 9 more laps, and then he'll be able to just kind of split the distance from his last stop. 88 just coming out of the pit, so he'll drive by easy. I really wish there was some side-by-side stuff I could show y'all, but this is just kind of a product of this race in here. You see that 33 of Schuenbachler. He kind of fell off from that a little bit, and so did Steven Schuh. I think that was just a little bit too much hard racing there for a little while. Tires fell off, and so he's just kind of going to have to live with what he's got for the rest of this run. Gordon Spain's now got a 6+ second lead. And it looks like we have 13 cars on the lead lap. Some of these guys are peeling off the pit, so that's why it's getting that way. You see that 7 will probably go by. I don't think Gordon Spain will put up too much of a fight. Not poor position, so let him have it. And we're just kind of in a holding pattern here, waiting to see this last pit stop, who goes when and how they all shuffle through. Let's see, there's a little bit here between Rick Baldwin and in the 19 and Michael White in the 53, but it looks like Baldwin is getting through pretty handily there. So Baldwin has worked his way back up after being a victim there of an accident. He is in 9th position now, so not sure. Oh, and you see the 62 hit the wall there. I believe that was the 62. Yeah, 62 comes off the wall. 92 is just going low to get away from him, but 62 was a couple laps down, I believe. All right, so and the lead is growing. He is almost 7 seconds now. Back to Bobby Grady there in second. And then you have Dan Worthington in third. And then John Schuenbachler is in fourth. That pass there is not for position, and Steven Schu is scored in fifth right now. And you see Schu kind of falling back there. So I'm looking for these top 5 guys to have to pit here pretty soon. Over 7-second lead now. So this Gordon Spain is very strong. He is definitely taking care of his tires. He's staying on the high side, but not all the way up there. Doesn't want to risk the wall. Doesn't really need to with this kind of lead. Just being safe, being clean with the tires. You see a little bit of a bobble off the corner there. That's just old worn tires. Not much he can do, but hold on to it here for probably another, I'm going to say 2 laps after he crosses the stripe here, and I would be looking for him to come in. Looking at your points leader here, looks like he is a lap down in 18th position right now. And he's got Chris Phillips right with him, so these are 2 of our top points leaders. We got Chris Phillips is in third in season standings, and Bobby Hall, of course, in first. That's some close racing right there. 2 foothills guys and 1 flex. Bobby Hall's going to go to the bottom. I think he's going to get Steven Schu here. Oh, man, a great run on the bottom there. Let's see if he gets Chris Phillips as well. Momentum with Phillips. Great run on the inside there, but it's got to be tough on the tires. I don't think he wants to do that for too long. And this is the best battle we have right now for position. So Bobby Hall still on that inside, trying to get the pass done for 17th position, and now he's going to have it. He should slide up in front of him, and he made that pass. So as they go on, let's look out front here, and it looks like we have 13 cars on the lead lap right now. We're on lap 90, so if you were going to go 35 laps at that end run, this is going to be the time to pit here, but he does not elect to pit this time. He'll take at least 1 more lap, and we'll see what he's going to do. Meanwhile, his lead over Bobby Grady is now 8.5 seconds. Let's go back to 7th place here, where Robert Charette in that 64 is fighting with Mike Allen for 6th position, and a little bit of a battle back behind him as well. This is still for position. Okay, so P3 is just announced he is pitting. So 113, Dan Worthington out of position 3 is pitting this time. The first place of Gordon Spain has elected not to come in yet. There goes Daniel Worthington off. Okay, so a lot of chatter on the radio right now for vehicles pitting. So that is going to be, there's at least 5 of them in. We got Dan Worthington, Mike Allen, Robert Charette, Gary Steele, Rick Baldwin, all in the pits right now. These are all guys in the top 10. The top 2 have not pit. They're now the top 6, but the top 2 originally are not pitting. You see Gordon Spain still on this track there. This is going to cost him a little bit of time in the short run. The trucks are going to come out with more speed, but then when we get to the last 5 laps, if this all stays green, he's going to have the fresher, faster tires, and this is his strategy right now. Is he wants the faster tires later as you see him dip off the pit. So he only got another lap to 2 laps over these guys that were pitted before him. And so this leaves the 00 in second place, who just announced he is pitting as well. So there he goes. That's going to hand the lead over to Daniel Cunningham in the 08. And we will see when he is going to pit. Not pitting now. Now, some of these other guys may not need to pit again, and it's going to be a matter of speed on tires. So this is going to be interesting coming down to this. You can see the 08 approaching some lap trucks. We'll see if he tries to get around them or if he is going to dip into the pits. Running the outside in 3 and 4, so I'd say he's not going to pit this time. So as we stand right now, we have Daniel Cunningham in the first. We have Michael Brooks in the 92 in second. Matt Grenier is in third. Gordon Spain fourth. And Bobby Hall is now up to fifth. And we'll see who has to pit and who doesn't. So Michael Brooks is saying he is coming in this time. That is second place that is pitting there. Dan Cunningham still going around again, not pitting again. He may be trying for a 25 lap end run here. So let's go back on board with our leader. And he's got a bunch of trucks in front of him. He's going to have to work around here, or, you know, they probably got newer tires, so they might pull away from him. 08 pitting right now. So he will be pitting this time. That is going to hand the lead right back to Gordon Spain. And there he is with the 62, not for position. So if we look, I'll keep an eye out here and see the 08 and see how far back he goes and where that leaves him. But right now, he just got passed in the pits. That is how much of a lead he actually had. So when he comes out, we'll find out where he settles and where he can get it back up to. But Gordon Spain currently has an 8.5 second lead over second place of Wes Wigan there in the 88. And the 88 is now pitting, so he is going to relinquish that. And in third place is 51, who is also pitting this time. So that is going to leave Dan Worthington in the second position once we cycle these few trucks out. And they are battling. That is not for position. The 15 car is not for position there. Okay, so the 08 is back on track. He is in the 13th position, about, let's call it, oh wow, he is, well, he's quite a few seconds back there. He's about 18 seconds back, let's call it. And he's definitely got 8 or so newer tires, so 8 laps is a big deal. It's gonna be a time difference for sure. We'll keep an eye on some of these lap times, but right now the lead is solidly by 10 seconds in Gordon Spade's hand. Let's go back here. This is actually a battle for third and fourth between the 2 of Bobby Grady and the 33 of John Schuenbachler. So these are guys that are fighting for that last position on the podium. So the 08 was in 13th. He is already back up to 10th. His last lap was a 31.47, and Gordon Spain in the lead was a 31.49. So 0.02 is not going to get it done, but as Gordon Spain's tires start to fall off, you will see that his will still be good. And let's take a look. Elijah Fisher, who was leaving earlier, is now in the 12th position, fighting back. So let's see. Maybe he can get himself a top 10 out of this. Steven Shue's got a little bit of a battle here with the 29. let's see who's going to prevail there. This is for the 5th position as we are crossing 23 laps to go. Next time across the stripe here for Gordon Spain. And he looks to the inside, so let's see if he can make this pass on the inside. He does. Is he going to slide up? He does slide up. He makes that pass, so that's Stephen Shu in P5 now. So he makes that pass. He has got about 5 seconds right there to Bobby Grady. And let's take a look up here because this is a battle for second place right here. The 33 is catching the 113, trying to make a pass on the inside. We've got a lap truck there of Mike Babinchek. We're going to see if he somebody uses him as a pick if they get there. And the 55 is probably just looking for a way to get out of this. He is in 16th position. Probably doesn't want to do anything. And so plenty of room there for everybody. But they are now 3 wide. That was close. And it is tough. It's very difficult to be the middle truck there and keep your momentum up because all of that dirty air is coming off both of those front ends right at you. But he has got momentum on the outside. Let's see if he can make this happen off the corner. He doesn't, and the 33 is going to slide up in front of him. Meanwhile, out front, Gordon Spain still has a 10.5 second lead. That 33 has been running the bottom quite a bit, and he is very strong there. I don't know if his tires are going to stay. I mean, I said that earlier, and he seemed fine. That is not normal. Usually the inside's going to eat up the tires. It's going to be a little bit slower, but he is making it work. He's got a 2 truck length lead at least now on Dan Worthington. So that's a great run for the 33 sitting in P2 right now, but again, still 10 plus seconds away from the lead. Rick Baldwin, let's check in on him. He's trying to make the pass on Robert Charette there for 7th, using that high side. See if he can make that stick. Momentum off the corner. Now the 29 of Mike Allen, that is also for position. That is 6th as well. So these 3 guys are battling it out here for 6th, 7th, and 8th. So as they go single file for a moment here, let's go back to the 2nd position, and you see that John Schuenbachler still has 2nd position pretty well in hand there. You're looking back there, you're seeing Chris Phillips, but he is the first vehicle, I believe, a lap down. So he is not for position. Let's go back over here as Baldwin is diving inside of Michael Allen, see if he tries that little slide job. You see the 54 truck there pitting. He can't make that pass complete just yet. He's going to dip off track, go the short route, see if that'll help him. Not quite clear yet, but as he dives in the corner, is he going to do it? Yep, he's going to take that position. So that is P6 for Rick Baldwin. He is up 12 positions from where he started. Michael Allen thought about the crossover. I don't think this battle is done just yet. And then you see Robert Charette there. He is coming into the picture as well. He's going to try to get a pass on the bottom. We got to take a look up here because the lead is down to 8.5 seconds, and I saw it dropping pretty fast. Not sure if he scraped the wall or just had a bad entry into the corner there, but I thought there might be an issue. But now he's holding at about 8.5 seconds, so 2 seconds he lost right there somehow. Just wasn't there for it, unfortunately. Let's go back here to this. Robert Charette is going to make this pass, I believe, in time. And you can see because of this battle, Rick Baldwin is checked out on these guys. And he loves to see that. As long as they're battling, he doesn't have to worry about his mirror at all. Rick can just sit there and try to get up to 5th. But Stephen Shu is a couple of seconds in front of him, so not sure if he's going to have time in 15 laps, but we'll see. And And that, it doesn't look like Robert Charette is able to make that pass right now, so he's going to kind of have to just settle in there, let the tires cool down a little bit, and maybe make another run at it here with a few laps to go. We got a bunch of trucks right in here. Let's sort out who's for position. The 6 is not for position. He's down. 33 and 113 are battling for second place. If we go back here just a little bit, Bobby Grady is in the 4th position. So, ooh, and the 6 just came off the wall a little bit. No harm, no foul. So you see Bobby Grady there. Now you also see the 94 of, Bobby Hall. Bobby Grady is in the 2. The 94 is not for position right now. Trying to see exactly where he is. Not seeing him on the thing. 16th position. There he is. 16th, first car lap down. So that's not a position battle. Neither is that 6 out front. So a whole lot of trucks there, but not a lot of position battles, unfortunately. And we see we have 13 to go at this point. So I'm thinking everybody has pitted. This is what we're going to go with. So and let's check back in with Rick Baldwin here. As you see the 55 truck down on the bottom, he is entering the pits. And Rick Baldwin has a bit of breathing room on both sides now. Not really making up any ground on Steven Shue there. And Shue's got 5 seconds up to Bobby Grady, who's in 4th. So these guys are just kind of riding it out, hoping somebody in front of them has a problem. Probably don't want to see a caution, though. And you see Bobby Hall again just kind of driving through there, probably fresher tires, but is a lap down. So this is a tough position for Dan Worthington because he wants to, in this 113, he wants to stay competitive with this 33, but with these guys that are lapped down faster than him, it's going to cost him time being side by side, and this is exactly what John Schuenbachler in that 33 wants to see. So we are working 10 laps to go now. And we'll take a peek out front, but Gordon Spain out there in the 38 has worked this lead back to 9.5 seconds. So whatever happened with him there that cost him a little bit didn't damage the truck, and so he's able to continue on here. Trying to work some lap traffic and just not have any problems. This is one man that does not want to see a caution. And you see now the 2 of Bobby Grady has pretty much caught the 113. This is for position. This is for 3rd. So if he can get back to him, maybe, lap traffic will help out. And look at him draw up on him right there. That's a good corner for Bobby Grady. Now he's got to figure out where he's going to pass. Dan Worthington protects the outside, so he's got to go inside. He's got a good run there. Is he going to slide or not? He is sliding up the track. He's going to make that pass. That is for 3rd position. That's a podium finish right there that he just made a pass for. I don't think Dan Worthington's going to give that up easily. I just don't know how much tires he's got left. And he is on him now, and this 88 is a team car, I believe, to the 113, so, and he's faster, so if he can try to help, I'm sure he will. Don't hit him, though. That is not what you want to see. And you see Alex Healy down on the very bottom. He is not for position, but also a flex teammate. So Bobby Grady's got to be careful here. He's surrounded by flex drivers. But those guys are faster, so they're going to drive away, and now these 2 are just left. And Grady is super loose off of that corner. Recovers nicely, but I got to feel that's going to cost him some momentum, and Dan Worthington stays behind him. He does not want the bottom. And Bobby Grady is a little bit loose again. The tires are going away. He's looking at the mirror a little bit more, and I think that is just kind of affecting that drive a little bit, but he is able to get a 2 truck length gap now, and maybe he can settle in there and just ride these last 6 laps out. Meanwhile, if we go back here, Robert Charette is working on Michael Allen. That's for 8th place. Trying his best. He's looking to the inside of Michael Allen. And you got the 8 of Gary Steele. He's in 10th. So these are all 3-4 position. Meanwhile, this gap is growing a little bit, so we'll go ahead and stay on board with these guys. And it just looks like, wow, the 8 goes way high on the 64 there. Not sure why the 64 stayed so low. Maybe got a little bit loose and just kind of trying to recover it. And the 8 makes that pass. So put Gary Steele in the 9th position. So that pass looks to be complete. Let's take a look right here. This is for 2nd place. Bobby Grader is now on the outside of the 33. Bobby Grady makes another pass. That is 2nd position Bobby's in. Unfortunately, he's 13 seconds down. Oh, and the 2 is in the fence. That's going to cost a lot of momentum, and he's going to give up a couple positions here. That's too bad. He just touched the wall there, and unfortunately it cost him 2 spots after he took all that work to get him back. He's going to try to go, but there's 2 laps to go here, and he's got a great run, though. And I'll show you guys out front, but he's crossing the line now, and this is the battle back behind. So this is 14 seconds off. Gordon Spain, final lap. He's got this in the bag, but this is the battle right here. 33 is, oh my gosh. And I don't know what just happened right there, but he got loose and I think did not let off the throttle. And the 113 is damaged. The 33 is, let's take a look at the, oh, I'm trying to see, he's fallen back too. He is damaged. That's 2nd and 3rd gone. The second the second place vehicle of the 2 car of Bobby Grady, who had given up those 2 spots, now gets them back by default. And we are checkers. Gordon Spain gets the win, and Bobby Grady finishes 2nd. Stephen Shue ends up in 3rd place. Daniel Cunningham in 4th. So that was a wild finish there. We'll have to go and look at that again, and the 38 gets spun by the 92. I think that was a little congratulatory. Nice race, buddy. But now he's got to bring it back to the line. And we'll get these top 3. Let's take a look at our results here. If I can bring that up. Oops. Can get the ticker off there. So that is not correct. Not sure why that's saying them up front. We'll go ahead and take that off of there because that's not right. Let me. All right, so let's take a rake at the range. There we go. So we are looking at Gordon Spade with the win, Bobby Grady in 2nd, Stephen Shue in 3rd, Daniel Cunningham in 4th, Gary Steele in 5th, Mike Allen in 6th, 7th is Robert Charette, Rick Baldwin in 8th, John Schuenbachler in 9th, and 10th is Dan Worthington. All right, let's see if we can get into the booth here and get a couple of guys with us here. Crazy finish. I'm still trying to process it myself. I definitely want to go back and look and see what happened there, but let's see if we can get our third place finisher with us here, and that's going to be Steven Shue. Let me drag him in with us. Steven, this is Matthew in the booth. You got me? Steven, Matthew in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Big Matt.
Dang, man. Okay, so crazy race. Only one caution. Awesome. The field got spread out. Man, third place. You had some issues early. Take us through your race and how you ended up here.
Well, Kyle, I'll be honest with you. It's a miracle that I wound up here because when we started this race under qualifying, I had 24 frames.
Oh, wow.
And it dropped all the way down to 8. That's why you see me qualify in the back. Then all race long, I could barely get it above 40. So I tried to stay away from everybody and just out of it. And just here in the last pit stop or so, it started clearing up a little bit so I could really start running my line and getting close to people to race.
Yeah.
But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll take luck over skill any day.
Yes, sir. And we saw you battling quite a bit with a lot of trucks there. Take us through kind of strategy. Were you trying to hang on to tires? Was the fuel run not long enough so you could go hard, or what was your mindset with that kind of strategy?
The tires, they fall off pretty bad, pretty quick. My thing was I come out right out the gate, started running the high line, lifting, just barely dragging the brake, just trying to be as soft on them as I could. And it was paying off there, just saving tires because I didn't even know if I was going to make it to the end of the race. I thought I was just going to be dropped out due to packet loss.
Yeah.
And, that first caution come out, and I was kind of excited because when we went in the pits, Chris Barker there is our teammate, and he had me pop up my windows, and I started closing programs and stuff while I'm sitting in pit road, trying to get it to pick up some speed or something. It helped a little bit, but not a lot. So I went from, 24 to 40 ping or 40 frames, and I was still just glitching. That wreck, it happened in front of me. I don't know if you was looking at it or not.
Yeah.
My screen completely froze.
Oh, man. That's
tough.
I
just moved up, and I felt my steering wheel bump the wall, and I kind of drug it off the wall. Then the screen unfroze. I was like, "Oh Lord!" Made it.
Well,
but
shoot.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to do some stitching in the bottom of this seat because there's a hole right around my rear end.
Yeah, I bet. Well, all right. So you're on the podium. You got your opportunity. Thank everybody you want to, and go away. Go for it.
Definitely got to give a shout out to you for SRN. This is a great league. Especially with you stepping out of the league and doing our broadcasting now. You do an excellent job. My wife absolutely loves you doing the broadcast. Definitely big shout out for my teammates because when I was froze up and locked up and couldn't see, they was telling me to hold it straight or turn. So if it wouldn't have been for them, I wouldn't have made it through it.
That's wild.
Yeah. I've got to give a shout out to the sponsors there, Natural Life and what's the other one, Gal? You can say it for
Mag Real Estate.
Mag Real Estate, sorry. Yep. I don't get on the podium that often, so I'm kind of excited.
I hear you.
And got to give a shout out to Wagner's Welding, Jamie's owner-operator over there on D Hart Community Center Road. Check him out if you need any welding done, if you're local to Wilkes or surrounding counties. And number one, and last but surely not least, the wife, for letting me be a big old youngin' and come up here and play on this video game.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're in Texas next week. Is that a good track for you?
It's a good track for everybody. You know that.
Yes, sir. It's my home track. I love it. So
you're racing with us next week, ain't you?
No, I'm broadcasting for the time being, unfortunately. So, but it's still fun up here, that's for sure. So, great race. We'll see you in Texas. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again after the race in Texas.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right, let's get our second place finisher in here. That's going to be a Bobby Grady. Bobby Grady. Matthew in the booth, you got me?
You got Gordon.
Oh, man. You're next. Hold on.
Next
Bobby Grady, this is Matthew in the booth, you got me? Gordon Spain is here too, but hey, we got everybody now. Hold on. All right, Bobby, you got second place. Great run for you. Wild finish at the end there. Take me through first kind of your strategy for the race. Were you saving tires or were you going all out?
Well, I think it was all in the beginning there where we made an early stop and then nobody else did. And then it went green from there. So it was a little bit not so much strategy as luck.
Yeah. I think the guys up front stayed out 8 or 9 of them and got stuck and that took some of the leaders kind of out of that situation. But it was a good long run. We were watching you quite a bit towards the end there, and we saw you just kind of passing trucks and making moves, and then kind of take us through that, and then what happened with second and third there in front of you.
Yeah, so I got behind, I think it was not truck number 11, and I kind of was seeing the line he was running. So it kind of gave me a little better strategy. I was getting a better run off. And then, boy, towards the end there, just pacing, running laps. And then, we had a lot of fast cars coming. And then John got into it with one of the guys there just because they were faster going by. And I couldn't really see what happened, but it checked him up, put me up to second. Was great. And then I got in the corner too hot, rubbed the wall. Then those two got back by me. It was pretty intense racing. And then I seen someone hit the wall and 113 and then bounced off of John and lucky enough to make it through the infield and get second.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better be lucky than good, right? So, I mean,
That
great
is for sure.
Yeah, great finish though. So I'm going to give you the floor. Sponsors, anybody you want to thank, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, first off, got to thank you for putting the league together, Mag Real Estate, Natural Life, and just a good group of guys to race with. And, I appreciate the platform.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have Texas next week. What do you think about that track? Is that a good one for you?
Well, it would be if I wasn't in the Bahamas.
All right. So you're taking an off week. That's good. Well deserved.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll see you back in Talladega. So you have a good night. Hopefully, we'll see you back in the broadcast booth in Talladega.
I appreciate it. Thanks again.
All right, buddy. All right, now we'll go with Gordon Spain in the win tonight. Man, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first of all, damn, that was a dominating run there in the last 2 stints. How did you, from your seat, how did you get there, and how are you able to just keep gapping guys?
And that first caution, the one and only caution,
Yeah.
I took tires, banking on it going green the whole way. And for that to happen, I needed it to go green the whole way.
Yeah.
And just from there, I was able to, run consistent laps and do everything, make my pit stops perfect, as perfect as I can.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get some excitement with a late caution or something, and it just didn't happen. And I think I actually said with about 5 to go, I put it on your truck and said that's a guy that doesn't want to see the caution. So
Absolutely not.
Definitely not something you wanted to see. I'm sure some other guys wanted it. I mean, you had a 10+ second lead at the end there, so. Obviously, you were able to hang on to those tires better. Definitely a track that was suiting you tonight.
And I finished with a half a lap of fuel. Half a lap of fuel remaining.
That's all you need. Just enough for a burnout, right?
It fell out perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're going to Texas next week. Is that a good track for you as well? I mean, it's kind of similar, a little bit more banking.
I think it can be.
Yeah.
Hopefully, a little strategy comes into play again, and
absolutely.
Yeah. Get a good run out there.
Very good. Well, you won the race. You're going to get your opportunity to thank sponsors and anybody that you want to, so go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Mag Real Estate, Natural Life, Spain's Tire, and OG Motorsports, our new team that we kind of formed. And
yeah, you guys look pretty good this week.
1-2 finish.
Can't
Great
be
race.
upset with that. Yeah, so new team, new thing. Tell us about that tire center that you got out there.
Yeah, just a wheel and tire center, small minor repair shop, little town, Central Virginia,
Nice.
Louisa, Virginia, actually.
Very good. All right, well, enjoy the win, and we will see you in Texas next week. Hopefully you'll get in the booth again.
We'll see you in Texas.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night. All right, well, that's our race for the evening, everybody. So that was a fun one. Not a lot of cautions, but a lot of fun action on the track. Like we mentioned, we will be in the Texas Motor Speedway next week. That is my home track, so a favorite for me. Going to be a lot of action with the higher banks there, so we will see that race. We'll see you next Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. Central. Everybody, y'all have a